position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, home to the TCU Horned Frogs. As we'll see a squad from the Big 12, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the TCU Horned Frogs. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Texas A&M set to kick off to christen this game. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34.
On the double.
They'll move the tight end. Off play action on first down. Throwing right. Makes the grab. It's Everett. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one. The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Buying some time. He's going to fire into the gut of the defense. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line. And the Horned Frogs are threatening in the red zone. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. He's got it on the run. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. Operating in the red zone here on second down. They'll try the run. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. They're throwing for it on fourth down. Got it! And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the first down.
Well, I think the defense was even caught off guard on that one, guys. Not seeing the field goal unit trot out onto the field. They had a golden opportunity there to make a stop and get the ball back without surrendering any points. They couldn't do it, though, and now all of a sudden their backs are against the wall.
The Horned Frogs line it up with a first and goal. Big guy smells it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. A score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football, be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man quickly. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I'll tell you, on defense, these linebackers are trained not just to stop the run, but to go out and cover in space and make tackles in the open field. That linebacker shows you all of his skill set there.
Back to pass. Under fire. Hit as he throws. Got his man downfield. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at him. And he's very fortunate to get it back to the line of scrimmage, greeted by a sea of defenders.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 45-yard line. Running backs just have to be a weapon in the passing game, even for little dump-offs and checkdowns.
Yeah, find your matchups. I mean, you think about running back versus a linebacker. We like that matchup in space, and so find ways to get the football to your running back in space where you can break tackles and make things happen because they're just so dynamic.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. Going for the marker on the ground. Looks as if Texas A&M will have enough for the first down.
I love offensive play callers that are aggressive. Going for it on fourth down, check. In your opponent's territory, now here's an opportunity where you might be able to be aggressive again and take a shot.
Gets it out fast. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Bobo. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Picked off to stop the threat. Got some room to run. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows. Great job by the DB, making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
Bought a little time, lets it go. That's reeled in, it's Pope.
That quarterback has a hose. That dude could throw it through a car wash and not get it wet. Great job of putting that ball on a line to his wide receiver.
Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
It's great to have a physical offensive line that you can count on, that you can just lean on them up front and fall forward and get first downs. Man, what a comfortable, what a nice spot to be in if you're an offensive coordinator.
And a nice grab there. Big pickup down to the 35-yard line.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice.
Breaks into the open. Bulldozes his way through. They finally get him stopped, but this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. Might as well give it to him again. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
At the 14-yard line, brings up second down.
We've reached the break, and TCU is holding the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. Looking to fire. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, TCU! Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
Number
defense right now on their heels. They have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
From inside the 10, here he comes. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Back to pass on second down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Sheriff. They get him on the ground, but that'll be enough to give Texas A&M a first down.
I just love quarterbacks that aren't greedy and that aren't always trying to throw the home run ball, right? Second down, you're in your own end of the field. The guy you want to throw to is not open. Just find the back. He'll go do something positive with it. This guy is a weapon, and you got to find him in the passing game.
That's caught. It's Sheriff. And he's able to shed one tackle and pick up pretty good yardage.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
The Aggies with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Wide receiver comes in motion. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Caught in the backfield. It's high. There he goes. Inside the 35. Knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest. That's a really good stop by the defense. Jesse, they need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is the point where this defense has just got to lock in.
That's caught. It's Bobo. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. And the Aggies come to the line on third and short, looking to keep this drive moving. From the gun, to give, looking for room. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Texas A&M looking to convert on fourth here. Trying to do it on the ground. Will not get there. A fourth down stop.
And how about the defense coming up big on fourth and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting the big stop.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Making side adjustments here. They go to the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that play.
Going to swing it on second down. Got him downfield. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
When you play zone and you drop back, you're dropping back to a spot, and that means there's going to be holes, and the quarterback has to do a good job of reading it, seeing it, throwing it between those holes. He does a really nice job there, makes the defense pay for playing zone coverage.
He's got him. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. And the Horned Frogs come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the middle. Working that left side. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. He'll set up to throw. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
And for quarterbacks throwing the ball down this close to the goal line, because there's so many bodies in such a small space, oftentimes routes take a little bit longer to develop, and it forces quarterbacks to have to hold on to it a little bit longer. That's the risk and danger with throwing the ball so close to the goal line. You might get sacked.
I love the vision on the quarterback by this defense. Dude, you know that ball's going to come out pretty quick. Down here on the goal-to-go situation, they break on the football, and they make sure they swat it down so the offensive guy can't make a play.
Makes the grab on the left. The receiver will not get it to the sticks. It'll be fourth down.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
A long way to go on fourth and goal. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw. Into the end zone. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
And you wonder if that interception is going to bring this guy back down to reality a little bit. He was lights out early in this game. Everything he was throwing was right on the money, and that might have been a decision where he got a little bit greedy, and David, the defense made him pay.
And this defense has seen it time and time. They've been throwing the football, having success. Nice job adjusting, breaking on the football, making a play. They needed to break serve. They needed something to happen to go their way to kind of mess this guy's rhythm up. That might be the start of it.
Texas A&M going up tempo. Looking to throw on first down. Here comes the heat. Trying to escape and get it himself. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. Second down coming. Wants to go up top. The sweet feet keeping the play alive. And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. Turning it on. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a first and goal.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play, because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
Unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
It took them some time, but finally here at the end of the first half, they were finally able to get it right and score a touchdown. You know, I think oftentimes as an offensive coordinator, you've scripted your first 10 plays, things aren't working. You're looking for formations, you're looking for schemes you can run to finally break through, and that last drive might be what this offense needs to finally turn the corner. We'll see in the second half.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Starts a drive trying to go up top. He fires one deep down the right side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting to throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. On the run, still looking. Going back to the well, another deep ball. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
Man, these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide open wide receivers, you still expect them to put that ball in there and make it happen.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Horned Frogs will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. And a special teams miscue as the kickoff goes out of bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. He'll start this drive firing. He's going to take off. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
Give to the running back. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the second half.
Grab near the marker. It's Bobo. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
And a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. Wants to keep it in the air. No, it's picked off. Not the second half start they'd hoped for. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. Trying to take it back. He's at the 50. Inside the 30. The 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Horned Frogs!
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. New Mexico has the lead right now, but if this team has taught us anything over the years, it's that no lead is safe inside University Stadium. They're up by 11 over Purdue. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day, guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. To the air on first down. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Caught behind the line. It's Bobo. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Grab behind the line. It's Sheriff. Well, they were counting on winning the one-on-one battle. They got the completion, but the yardage didn't work out.
Yeah, and a lot of times, man, that's what I do on short yardage situation. 3rd and short, make my guy fall forward for a couple yards, try to get the first down, but it was a good tackle, and the receiver got absolutely nowhere after the catch.
Caught in the backfield. It's high. He's not going to get there. Stop short on 4th down.
Yeah, and down by 2 scores, and I guess you get to the point where you got to say, I'm going to go for it. We got to be aggressive. We got to make this happen. They tried to make it happen. The defense comes up big. Now, it is not looking good.
Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Finds a tight end down the gut. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Wants to adjust the pattern. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Back to pass. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. From his end zone, he'll go up top. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. They'll keep it on the ground. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Man, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw.
Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. From the shotgun, the inside give. Blast his way ahead, but not much room. A pickup of 1 to the 24.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPOs. You just want positive yards, make the right read. Read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
Throws to the wideout. He's got it.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead. They know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
And that seemed a little off from the start, didn't it?
That was a big-time play, and it was off from the start because of the play he made.
And I don't think it would have mattered who was playing running back. There was absolutely nowhere to go.
The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, TCU! No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in Week 6. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you
tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. He's got it inside the 30. Running wide open down the gut of the field. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Aggies!
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30.
And the TCU Horned Frogs will take over. 1st and 10.
Opening play of the drive from the 39. Might be changing the route. Motion from the wide receiver. Looking downfield on 1st down. Oh, does he turn that loose down the middle. And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Gonna take a shot. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, that one falls incomplete. That hasn't happened a whole lot today, though. This dude has been lighting this defense up with his speed. He showed great hands. He just weren't able to come down with that one.
On 2nd down, he'll try to make the connection. This time he's got it. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield. Pick up 10 and the 1st down. They'll go back to the ground. He's stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying and have had very little success. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Looking to fire. Here's a heat. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the 4th quarter, and you're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions. Got to continue to get these 1st downs. Move quick. Don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
Pressure affects quarterbacks, and this guy's one of the best in the nation. I don't care how talented you are, but if you're being hit, you're not going to throw completions.
Wants to throw again. Quarterback strolling away from heat. Nothing open downfield, so he'll just toss it away.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Makes the grab. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. The he's moving quickly to the line. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Great job by the back on the option. Before that score, considering last rites, now all of a sudden, they're not dead yet. In fact, they're feeling much better, and they're alive, and they've got a chance.
And I'm looking on the field right now, and I'm looking at their sideline. They're energized, Reese. After that last score, all of a sudden, they believe they can come back and win this game. This is a totally different-looking team than what we saw earlier.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. The sweet feet buy a little time. He's got it on the outside.
How about this offense, man? You got to love it. Late in the 4th quarter, you have the lead. They don't get conservative. Staying balanced. Run. Back it up with a pass. Getting the first down. A few more first downs, and you can walk out of here with a W.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. He wants to change this route. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Looking left. He's got it. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
He's got it. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be 3rd down. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. He wants it all. Touchdown, Horned Frog. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board. Now they've got a little breathing room after that score, and a Week 6 victory is in the offing, it appears.
That's a nice job by this offense. Nice job putting the drive together late. This might seal this football game. And nice response. It's nice to be home, and come back to the home crowd after you've lost a couple games. Get some mojo going back in your way.
From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24.
Offense will take over. 1st and 10.
So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. Wide receiver going in motion. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds.
That's just not going to get it done, David. At this point of the game, you're trailing. You've got to pick up the urgency, and this offense is going to have to get more aggressive throwing downfield.
They're going to have to take shots, but I know that, right? The defense knows that. I'm going to stay deep, and I'm going to let you complete all these passes underneath because the clock running is my friend.
Unloads to the wideout. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34.
And some guys just have a knack of finding the football, and he is one of them. Like, you can just tell when the ball's in the air, he's like, that is mine. His second big game-changing play in this football game.
They're setting up the screen, and that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. When you see all those defenders around your intended target like that, just throw it in the ground or throw it away. I mean, that's a completion that loses yards. You're just hurting your offense there.
He'll get rid of it. Just masterful working that sideline and getting the toe down for the catch.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. And the Horned Frogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Oh, it's a reverse. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And playing defense now in college football, you have to be ready for motions. And wide receivers are becoming more and more part of the game plan of getting them the football, letting them be running backs. You see it even in the NFL some too. Great job by the defense. They were ready for it. They were aware. Now the offense maybe use that as a decoy in the future.
Love the play call offensively because you've got the lead. The defense expects you to run the ball. You just did it the previous play, so there you dial up play action, set up an easy throw, and you keep the clock ticking.
He's knocked down for a loss of 7.
And you don't always see tosses into the boundary. Most people want to go to the wide side of the field. Defense was ready. Not as much space when you go wide out there, but more importantly, the defense doing a great job winning, setting the edge, running to the football, shutting the toss down.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Quarterback adapting. Looking to the big tight end. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
I love the job here by the linebacker. He just kind of floats, and he's shuffling, and he's waiting to see which way the quarterback's going to go with the football. Not able to snag it out of the air, but, hey, batting it away, it's a big-time play.
It's 3rd and goal and a long way from the end zone. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Fires to the wideout. Touchdown, TCU! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Salt into wound, right? Late in the 4th quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and give me another touchdown.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here's the return from inside his 10. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Leaves it with the back. Breaks into the open. The 20. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Aggies.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
He'll try to tack on one more. Right down the boulevard. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown, just like that. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Now the chance to take a knee and just put the finishing touches on this victory.
Yeah, and this offense is...
Grabs it inside the 15. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one. After that huge play right back at him on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. Now from inside the red zone. Starting to feel a little pressure. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Wants to go up top. Pressure coming. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the 4th. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Aggies!
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And after this play, the cake will be baked. Looking to throw on 1st down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. To the end zone, and it's picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. The 40. The 20. He's a touchdown, Aggies. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
How fast did this game just change? Offense in the lead with the football looking great. Defense makes the big play. We've got ourselves a ball game now.
You never know. Every point is important to some. And they'll make the extra point, but they still lose it by a touchdown. It's one thing to execute early in the game. Tight ball game, right at the end. You need the clutch plays. These guys deliver.
And you can't teach that gene. You have
my niggas. I slide with my niggas down. I run with my niggas.